Hello, today we will learn how to manage permissions of the form and the application. Now it's very important to understand that in the company environment, setting permissions between departments and forms and lists is extremely important. So it's important we do it right from the beginning. I want to show you how it works in NAVIGATOR365 platform. So to do it, I will use the Office application today. The Office application is the application to manage incoming and outgoing documents in a company. But what I want to show you is how to set these permissions. So we go into Forms and let's say incoming document form. Now the permissions are set on different levels. So the first level of the permissions is in here when we have the access of the form. So is it only accessible by this application or by other applications? So in this case, this form incoming letters is shared with other applications in this time system, but we can also make it a private when it's only accessible for this application of the Office, or public where all other applications have an access to this form. Now the other level of setting permissions is permissions. In here we decide who is able to do what. So important is to set add permissions. The add permissions is the person who will be able to add a new document. Now, full control permissions, you can always check it in here if you forget, gives you an option to modify and delete the document. Now, edit permissions is only modifying. So I can, for example, add that full control permission here will be Zoe. This is how you do it. And read permissions is for people who only will be able to read the document, but they cannot make any changes to it. Now, there is another line in here to explain. It's the document access for the creator. Now, the creator is the person who started the document in a system, and we can set his permissions different than the permissions of the form itself. So we can decide that the person who actually creates the document have full access to it always. And by saving, we make changes. Now, important thing to know is that application itself has no permissions. I'll show you what I mean by that. If I go into general info on the application, there is only application administrators we set. Application administrator is a person who has the ability to make changes to the document, but the most important is that he has ability to change the application itself. So if Zoe Roberts or super admin will enter this application, they can enter into back office and they can make any changes they want, and all the other users besides administrators in here can only act on documents in the system, but not on the forms or processes or application itself. Now, important to understand is that if I come back to forms and into permissions, in here you cannot see these administrators. So even though super admin is not listed here to have any permissions to this document, it will have them because he is an administrator of this application. Now, one last thing to show you regarding permission for the form is the document based on this form itself. So if I finish the editing now and I go into incoming documents, and let's see let's see this one, and in here we have again permissions. Now you can see that I press edit, you can see that the document inherited permissions from the form, but for the certain document we can change it if we want to. So let's say all the incoming documents are only full control permission has only Zoe Roberts, but we want a one document, for example, itself to have someone else with the permissions. Now what you can see here in the bottom is permissions added from the process. So this is one other level of permissions which may happen in Navigator 365. The process permissions are added because the person who has them is an actor on a step in the process. And if this is happening in the process, this name, for example, Hannah Walker, as we have here, lands in this document, this document permissions. I guess this explains how different levels of permissions in a system work. And this is it for today. Thank you very much, and check out other tutorials we have for you. Thank you.